Hello friends, welcome to Law and GK. So friends, on this channel we discuss the contents of law and previous year papers of judicial services and other legal exams. And if you have seen my previous videos, I have already discussed the Haryana, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, and currently we are doing the series of Delhi Judiciary, and Delhi Judiciary का paper अब just आने ही वाला है. And in this sequence, what we have done, we have already discussed all the papers from 2010 to 2019. Now what we are doing, actually we are just giving you the all the questions which have come from 2010 to 2019 in the exam of DJS for every particular subject. And in today's video we are going to discuss the all the questions of Limitation Act which have come in examination of DJS from 2010 to 2019. सो फ्रेंड्स, इफ़ यू आर न्यू ऑन दिस चैनल आई वुड लाइक टू रिकमेंड कि आप फटाफट से इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए एंड सब्सक्राइब करते टाइम बेल आइकन को ज़रूर प्रेस कीजिएगा बिकॉज ऐसी वीडियोस और भी आने वाली है. आई एम जस्ट अपलोडिंग दी ऑल दी वीडियोज़ ऑफ ऑल डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट्स ऑफ DJS, CRPC, IPC, एविडेंस, लिमिटेशन, आर्बिट्रेशन, SRA, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एटसेट्रा. सो फ्रेंड्स, चलिए करते हैं अब ऑल क्वेश्चंस ऑफ लिमिटेशन एक्ट.
Creates a right in favor of a person. Basically, these are the general principle. The right answer is option number D. Creates a right in favor of a person. This is a general principle. Now come to question number 32. Mark the correct statement. A debt does not cease to exist only because its recovery is barred by the statute of limitations. A defendant can plead that the instrument is voidable even if his suit to set aside on the ground of its voidability is barred by limitation, both A and B, and none of the above. It is option C, both A and B. Question 33. Good faith under Limitation Act implies due care and attention. It becomes relevant when the question is whether the limitation period should be extended or not. The delay on the part of a party should be condoned or not, both A and B, or none of the above. It is option number C, both A and B. Question 34. Period of limitation means that the period of limitation prescribed for any suit appeal application by the schedule to the Limitation Act. Period of limitation means option number A. This is the right answer. Actually, this is the definition 2J of Limitation Act. And the option number B, the period of limitation computed in accordance with the provisions of the Limitation Act. Actually, this is also a correct statement, and this is the definition of the prescribed period under 2J. Question number 35. A party who prays for condonation of delay under Section 5 of Limitation Act 1963 has to establish that he is vigilant, no negligence on his part, no lack of bona fide on his part, or all of the above. It is all of the above, and this is a conceptual based question, that he should be vigilant and not negligent, and there is no lack of bona fide on his part. Now come to question number 36. Section 6 of Limitation Act lays down that where a person entitled to institute a suit etc. is at the time from which the prescribed period is to be reckoned, a minor or insane or an idiot, he may institute the suit etc. within the same period after the disability has ceased as would otherwise have been allowed from the time specified in the schedule. So section 6 does not provide for fresh starting point of limitation, and section 6 does not prevent the running of limitation but only extends the period of limitation. Both these statements are correct. The right answer is option number C. Both A and B are correct, and section is section 6 only. Now question number 37. Where a person is affected by two legal disabilities, or where one disability followed by the another without leaving a gap, then the suit or application may be filed till the first disability ceases to exist, till the second disability ceases to exist, after both the disabilities have ceased. It is option number C. Both disabilities have ceased, and it is mentioned where? Under section 6(2) of Limitation Act. Now come to question number 38. If a pronote is executed on 5th June 1945, the last day for filing of the suit will be what? It is executed on 5th June 1945. So the day on which cause of action arises shall be excluded according to section 12 subsection 1. So the counting will be start from 6th June to 5th June, and 3 years from that, then the right answer will be 5th June 1948. Option number A is the correct answer. 5th June 1948. Now come to question number 39. Which of the following is not an essential requisite of a valid acknowledgement? It must be made before the expiration of limitation period. It need not be in writing. It must be signed by the person making the acknowledgement or by his duly authorized agent, or it must be made by a party against whom any property or a right is claimed or some person through whom he derives title or liability. So which is not an essential requisite. It need not be in writing. Option B, because it should be in writing, and it is section 18, valid acknowledgement. Now come to question number 40. In a suit filed by the plaintiff, the defendant in his written statement has taken the objection of non-impediment of necessary part. Despite such objection, the plaintiff continued the suit and the suit finally was decreed. At the first appellate stage, the plaintiff withdraws the suit with liberty to file a fresh one on the same cause of action and subsequently filed a fresh suit. The period spent by the plaintiff in the earlier suit under section 14 of the Limitation Act is liable to be excluded on the ground that the plaintiff was prosecuting the earlier suit with due diligence and in good faith. Option A is the correct answer, and it is mentioned where? Under section 14 of the Limitation Act.
Next question number 82. A time bar debt can be claimed as set off, fresh suit, counterclaim no. ठीक है, टाइम बार डेट के लिए सूट में काउंटरक्लेम सेट ऑफ और फ्रेश सूट नहीं ला सकता. यू कैन अदरवाइज सेट ऑफ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द बैंक किसी ने लोन लिया, वो टाइम बार हो गया, बट इफ द बैंक हैज़ एनी FD और एनी बैलेंस इन द अकाउंट ऑफ द बोरोवर, दे कैन सेट ऑफ इट. वहाँ पर इक्विटेबल सेट ऑफ हो सकता है. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? इक्विटेबल सेट ऑफ. नेक्स्ट इज 83. एक्नॉलेजमेंट आफ्टर द पीरियड ऑफ लिमिटेशन इज ऑफ नो इफेक्ट. ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड होना चाहिए एक्नॉलेजमेंट, एंड वेयर इट इज मैंशन इन सेक्शन 18 ऑफ लिमिटेशन एक्ट. Next is 84. What does the legal maxim sui generis mean? Sui generis means the only one of its kind. So 2 is the answer. Next is 85. A suit for damages of breach of contract can be filed at a place where the contract was executed, where the contract was to be performed, where the plaintiff resides. इसका आंसर क्या रहेगा? Both 1 and 2. Next is 86. In a suit for maintenance, arrears can be claimed for the last 3 years. And where it is mentioned in article or item number 105 of Schedule of Limitation Act. 4 is the answer. मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट चुन रहे हैं यहाँ पर. देखिए 98 क्या कहता है कि एक अनरजिस्टर्ड फर्म है जो क्लेम कर रही है राइजिंग फ्रॉम अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अगेंस्ट सेवरल पर्सनस. तो जो है ये रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं है फर्म का. ऑन द लास्ट डे ऑफ लिमिटेशन फॉर फाइलिंग दिस सूट, सूट इज़ फाइल ऑन द सेम डे. रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा के द लास्ट डे पे उन्होंने सूट फाइल कर दिया. डिफेंडेंट ने बोला कि भाई फर्म जो है रजिस्टर्ड नहीं थी, तो क्या ये सूट बैड हो गया? वेदर द सेड डिफेंस हैज़ एनी मेरिट? नो. भाई उसने उसको ऑर्डर में कर लिया ना, रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा लिया सूट फाइल करने से पहले. इट इज़ रजिस्टर्ड नाउ, दे कैन फाइल सूट. 2 इज़ द आंसर.
Question number 51. Section 5 of Limitation Act 1963 does not apply to option 1 suits, option 2 execution petitions under order 21 CPC, petition for divorce under the Hindu Marriage Act 1956, or option 4 all of the above. The right answer here is option number 4 all of the above, and it is combined effect of section 5 plus section 29 subsection 3 of Limitation Act, because suits are given in section 5 that it will not apply to suits, and these two are from section 29. Come to question number 52. Which of the following is not a disability under section 6? Section 6 is what? Legal disability of Limitation Act 1963. Minority, insanity, insolvency or idiocy. It is insolvency. Option number 3. Question number 53. In case of a suit for property which the plaintiff has conveyed while insane, the time from which the period of limitation 3 years under article 102 of the Schedule of Limitation Act 1963 begins to run is when the plaintiff is restored to sanity. Option 2, the date of property was conveyed. Option 3, when the plaintiff has knowledge of the conveyance. Option 4, both 1 and 3. It is option number 4, both 1 and 3. And it is given where? Under article 102 of Limitation Act. Come to question number 54. A suit to set aside a transfer of property made by the guardian of a ward by the ward who has attained majority can be filed within 3 years. Article 60, clause 1 of the Schedule of the Limitation Act 1963, from when The transfer of property was made. Option 2, the person in possession is served notice. Option 3, ward attains majority. Option 4, person in possession refuses to hand over the possession. It is option 3, ward attains majority, and it is mentioned where? Under Article 60 clause 1, under this article only. Next is question number 55. In case of a suit by a person excluded from the joint family property to enforce a right to share within therein, the time from which the period of limitation 12 years under Article 110 of Schedule of Limitation Act 1963 begins to run is from the date of exclusion. Option 2, when the exclusion becomes known to the plaintiff, when the plaintiff makes known his intention to recover possession. Option 4, the date of refusal to hand over the possession to the plaintiff. It is in Article 110. So the right answer here is option number 2, when the exclusion becomes known to the plaintiff. Come to next question 56. The Supreme Court in Collector Land Acquisition Anantnag versus Katiji laid down the guiding principle for deciding an application under Section 5 of Limitation Act. Principles governing the nature of acknowledgement under 18 of Limitation Act, both 1 and 2 or none of the above. It is option number 1 under Section 5 of Limitation Act 1963. Come to question number 57. The period of limitation for preferring an appeal from a decree passed by a court subordinate to the High Court to a High Court from the date of decree is how much period? It is 90 days and mentioned where? Under Article 116A of Limitation Act. Come to question number 58. Section 21, effect of substituting or adding new plaintiff or defendant of Limitation Act 1963 does not apply in the case of which of the following? Option 1, addition of a new defendant for the first time. Option 2, substitution of a new plaintiff for the first time. Option 3, transposition of the parties. Or option 4, addition of a new plaintiff for the first time. It is transposition of party and mentioned where? Under section 21 only. Come to question number 59. Which of the following is correct with the regard of acknowledgement of liability under 18, section 18 of Limitation Act? Acknowledgement cannot be undated. Acknowledgement can be made to a person other than the person entitled to the property. Acknowledgement need not be in writing. Acknowledgement can be made after the expiry of the period of limitation. It is what? See the section 18 of the Limitation Act and its explanation A of 18 talks about option 2, acknowledgement can be made to a person other than the person entitled to the property. Come to question 60. Under section 18 of Limitation Act 1963, fresh period of limitation has to be computed from the date of expiry of half of the extended period of limitation. Option 2, delivering the acknowledgement, signing the acknowledgement, expiry of the initial period of limitation. It is option 3, signing of the acknowledgement, and it is given under section 18 only. Question 98. Part 2 of Limitation Act 1963 deals with the limitation of what? Suits, appeals, applications, or all of the above. It deals with all of these. Option 4. Question 99. For the purpose of Limitation Act, a suit is situated in an ordinary case when the plaint is presented to the proper officer. Option 2. In the case of a pauper, when the application for leave to sue as a pauper is made. Option 3. In the case of a claim against a company which is being wound up by the court when the claimant first sent his claim to the official liquidator. Which one of the above is correct? Actually, all of these are correct. And it is mentioned where? Section 3, subsection 2A of the Limitation Act. Question number 100. Where the prescribed period for any suit, appeal or application expires on a day when the court is closed, the suit, appeal or application may be instituted, preferred or made on the day when the court reopens or on the day when the court is closed, within 10 days after the court reopens, or within a reasonable time. It is basically section 4 of Limitation Act, and the right answer is option number 1 only, when the court reopens. Question 101. Section 5 of Limitation Act does not apply to suit, appeal, applications, or all of the above. Well, it applies to only appeal and applications. So the right answer is option number 1, suit. It does not apply to suit. Question number 102. Which section of the Limitation Act prescribes that in computing the period of limitation for any suit, appeal, or application for a leave to appeal or for revision or a review of a judgment, the day on which the judgment complained of was pronounced and the time requisite for obtaining a copy of the decree, sentence, or order appealed from or sought to be revised or reviewed shall be excluded. It is mentioned in which section? Section number 12 of Limitation Act. Next is 103. Exclusion of the time of proceeding bona fide in the court without jurisdiction is stipulated in which section? It is section 14. Question number 104. In computing the period of limitation for an application to set aside an award, the time requisite for obtaining a copy of the award shall be excluded under which section? Under section 12, subsection 4. Question number 105. Where once the time has begun to run, no subsequent disability or inability to institute a suit or make an application stops it under section 9 of the Act. Option number 1. 106. Section 18 of Limitation Act deals with what? It deals with effect of acknowledgement in writing. Question number 186. In terms of section 3 of Limitation Act, the court is required to consider the question of limitation when an objection on that point is made by the defendant only if it is not contested by the defendant, if an issue is framed in that regard, or suo motu on its own. The right answer is suo motu on its own.
Next is 49. What is the prescribed limitation for filing a suit by a mortgagee for foreclosure reckoned from the date when the money is secured? It is 30 years. It is mentioned in Article 63. कई जगह इसको items भी बोलते हैं, item number. Schedule of Limitation Act. Next is 50. The limitation for filing a suit by surety against the principal debtor would be 3 years from the date on which the amount was paid by the surety to the creditor. And it is mentioned in Article 42 of Schedule of Limitation Act again. फिर वही 51. What is the prescribed limitation period for filing a suit, compensation for legal and slender? It is 1 year in both cases. So 1 is the answer mentioned in Article 75 and 76. And 52. What is the prescribed period for limitation of filing a civil suit challenging disposition of plaintiff on the ground that land has been illegally acquired by the government? अब government ने illegal acquire किया, क्या आप केस कर सकते हो? No, the suit is not maintainable. Writ petition can be filed if your fundamental rights has been infringed. Next is 113. Section 14 Limitation Act can be invoked for exclusion of. क्या exclude कर सकते हैं आप? When the first suit is withdrawn under Order 23 Rule 1 on the ground technical and formal defect, in filing written statement, no. Dismissal in merits, no. Dismissal in default, no. So 1 is the answer. 124. Whether a counterclaim by defendant in pending suit is governed by law of limitation? Yes, it is governed. Who says it is not? It is also a conceptual question and general principle of law. Actually, 125. The plaint filed next day after the period of limitation will not be barred by time. In which situation? Plaintiff was outside India? No. While suffering from viral fever? No. Advocate of plaintiff forgot to file? No. If the court was closed for a half an hour, थोड़ी देर के लिए क्लोज था, उसी टाइम पर वो गया तो ठीक है, मिल जाएगा भाई. सेक्शन 4 टॉक्स अबाउट दैट. सेम क्वेश्चन वाज आस्क्ड इन 2018 एग्जाम. सेम डिट्टो सेम क्वेश्चन. इसका मतलब ये है कि प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन जो हैं वो पढ़ने चाहिए, बिकॉज उनमें से भी एक दो कोई ना कोई क्वेश्चन जरूर आएगा.
Answer becomes option number 4, both 1 and 2. Next is question number 12. Limitation for claiming compensation for defamation. It is mentioned where? Article 75 of Limitation Act. And according to that article, the right answer should be option number 3, 1 year from the date when the libel is published. Next is question number 13. Limitation for a suit for compensation for inducing the person to break a contract with the plaintiff. Well, this is what? Article 78 of Limitation Act. And according to that, the limitation period is how much? Is of 1 year from the date of breach. Next is question number 14. In computing the period of limitation for any suit, once the time has begun to run, then no subsequent disability or inability to institute the suit stops it. The right answer is option number 1 only, and it is mentioned where? Section 9 of Limitation Act says that. Next is question number 15. Delay in institution can be condoned under section 5 of Limitation Act in respect of what? Well, section 5 relates to appeals and applications. So the right answer is option number 2. Next is question number 16. The limitation available in law to A for instituting a suit at Delhi for recovery of money against B is till 1st December 2018. A dies intestate on 1st November 2018, leaving a widow, an adult son, adult daughter, and a minor son who amicably inherit the entire estate of A. So, option number 1, the widow and the children of any of them can, on or before 1st December 2018, institute the suit for recovery of money owed by B to A. The right answer is option number 1 only. Okay, so no need to read out the other options, and it is basically conceptual question. Next is question number 17. A bank has loaned money to B on 2nd January 2015, right? The limitation available to the bank for suing for the recovery of said monies from B. Recovery of monies from B. It is what? Article 19 of Limitation Act. And the right answer will be 3 years from that date, and the right answer becomes 1st January 2018. Next is question number 18. A has, within the prescribed period of limitation, sued B for recovery of debt owed by B to A. The suit remains pending. After 9 years of institution of suit, A assigns the debt for recovery of which the suit was filed to C. C, after nearly 1 year of assignment, applies in the suit for substitution in place of A. The option 1, the application for substitution is barred by time. The application for substitution does not lie as C is not the heir of A. C, as an assignee of A, has the right to be substituted and no limitation is prescribed for seeking substitution. And option 4, the suit will be dismissed as A has lost the right to recover the loaned amount. Well, question number 18 is also a conceptual question, and it is related to section 21 Limitation Act, and there are certain exceptions to that section, and assignment and transposition are some of the exceptions of that section. And option number 3, if we see the option number 3, then this is also assignment here, so this is an exception to that section. Right answer is option number 3. And there is no limitation prescribed for seeking substitution. Next is question number 19. A, on the 9th January 2015, agrees to sell immovable property to B. This is very long question. You can pause the video and see the whole question. I will read out its option and the right answer only. The right answer here will be option number 2, with effect from 9 July 2015. When the balance payment is given, from that only the time will be started, calculated. Next is question number 20. A counterclaim for the purposes of Limitation Act is deemed to have been instituted. Option A, on the same day as the suit in which the counterclaim is made has been filed. Option 2, on the day on which the counterclaim is made. Option 3, either 1 or 2, whichever is beneficial to defendant or whichever is beneficial to plaintiff. Option 4. Well, this question is what? Is related to section 3 of Limitation Act. In section 3 also, it is particularly clause 2, subclause B of that section, which says that counterclaim should be filed on the day on which counterclaim is made. The right answer is option number 2. Next is question number 21. The right to access or use of light or air shall be absolute and indefeasible where the access and use of light or air to and for any building have been peacefully enjoyed therewith as an easement and as of right without interruption. For how much years? This question is related to which section? Section 25 of Limitation Act. Easementary rights, and the years prescribed in that section is how much years? 20 years. The right answer is option number 4, 20 years. Next is question number 22. A suit filed on the day next to the last date of limitation for filing thereof will not be barred by time if the plaintiff was outside India on the last day of limitation. Option 2, if the plaintiff was unwell and suffering from viral fever on the last date. Option 3, if the court was closed for half an hour on the last date of limitation. Option 4, if the advocate for the plaintiff forgot to file plaint on the last date of limitation. Right answer is option number 3. Court was closed, and it is mentioned where? It is mentioned in section 4 of Limitation Act, when the court is closed on the last date of limitation. Next is question number 107. Section 5 of Limitation Act applies to what? Suits, appeal or applications, both 1 and 2 and none of the above. Then section 5 of limitation says that extension of prescribed period in certain cases, and in the beginning of the section it is mentioned that any appeal or application. So the right answer is appeal or application. Section 5 talks about appeal and application. Next, question number 108. The period of limitation for filing a suit for damages for defamation is how much period? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or none of the above? Then it is 1 year. And where it is mentioned? It is mentioned under Article 75 and 76 of Limitation Act. Next is question number 109. The period of limitation for filing a suit for possession under section 6 of SRA is 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, or 12 years. Here the right answer is 6 months. And what does section 6 of SRA talks about? It talks about suits by person dispossessed of immovable property. Then no suit under this section shall be brought after the expiry of how much period? 6 months, and against the government, plus no appeal and review can be filed here. So what can be filed then? Only the option of revision is there. Next is question number 110. If no period of limitation is provided in the Limitation Act, the proceedings can be instituted within 1 year, 3 years, 12 years and 2 months, and option 4 none of the above. The right answer for this is option number 2, 3 years, and it is mentioned under Article 137 of Limitation Act. Next is question number 111. Suit for arrears of maintenance can be filed within how much period? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or none of the above? It is mentioned under Article 105. This thing is given in Article 105 of Limitation Act, and the right answer for this is 3 years. Next is question number 112. The period of limitation for filing leave to defend in a suit under Order 37 of a Code of Civil Procedure within how much period? 10 days of receipt of summons for judgment, 30 days of receipt, or 90 days, or 120 days. First of all, understand what does this order talks about. Order 37 of CPC. What is it? It is summary procedure order, right? And this thing is mentioned under Article 108 of Limitation Act. Article 108, and the right answer for this is option number 1, 10 days. Next is question number 113. The period of limitation for filing an application for review. Review is how much period? 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 120 days. This thing is mentioned under Article 122 of Limitation Act, and the right answer for this is option number 1, 30 days of the judgment or order. Next is question number 114. The period of limitation for filing revision petition to the High Court under section 115 of the Code of Civil Procedure is 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 180 days. The earlier question it was asked about review, and here it is asked about for filing revision petition to High Court. So the right answer here is option number 3, 90 days of order or judgment, and where it is mentioned under Article 131 of Limitation Act. You must understand that these articles are very important of Limitation Act besides the sections. Next is question number 115. If the defendant is abroad during the period of limitation, such period is excluded from the period of limitation, such period is included, such period is excluded from the period of limitation only if the period of stay abroad is more than 30 days, or option number 4, none of the above. The right answer for this is such period is excluded from the period of limitation. The right answer is option number 1, and where it is mentioned under section 15(5) of लिमिटेशन एक्ट.
सो फ्रेंड्स, यहाँ पर हमने लिमिटेशन एक्ट के सभी क्वेश्चन जो DGS के 2010 से 2019 तक सभी क्वेश्चंस को डिस्कस कर लिया है. अगर आपको इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम लगी हो, कोई सजेशंस हो, कोई कमेंट्स हो, तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में जाकर भी लिख सकते हैं. एंड अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी, इसको जरूर लाइक कीजिएगा, शेयर कीजिएगा, एंड सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलिएगा. एंड अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी बताएं कि उन्हें यहाँ पर सारे क्वेश्चन जो अभी तक आए हुए हैं सब्जेक्ट वाइज मिल जाएंगे. सो फ्रेंड्स, थैंक्स वेरी मच फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो. मिलते हैं अब नेक्स्ट वीडियो में एक नए सब्जेक्ट के साथ. थैंक यू.